Hello! Today we're going to talk about some game tips for Overwatch. First of all, some general tips. You want to know your moveset of your characters. Always be aware of health, well, your health, and where to get the health if there's no support on your team. Know your level. Obviously this takes a little bit of time to get on board with, but once you know your level, you know your choke points, where to hold, all that sort of business, it's going to be a lot easier if you just set up your defenses. Team composition is very important in Overwatch, being a class-based shooter. You don't have to follow the team tips, like the team building tips in yellow when it says you've got no sniper or you've got no tank. It is useful to have kind of one of each, but sometimes you can have 3 snipers and it totally works. Sometimes you get 3 tourbillons for defense and they will clean shop. Other times it's important to switch it up when you need to. If there's lots of bastions around, get a junkrat. Get a sniper so you can take those guys out and your team can make that push. Also with the team composition is kind of the range of your hero. You want to be doing what your hero's best at. So you don't want to pick a tank hero if you want to be flanking around the back of him. Your tank hero is meant to absorb fire, so just know your role. Know your hero's role. There we go, that's a good one. Make sure you have a good emote. It's very important. You can't just go in there with some standard emotes, you know, get a cool emote, get a cool spray, otherwise what are you doing? So the final tip in this section is having some kind of strategy, and I've got one for you here that I use quite a lot. Just take this for example, you're defending on a hybrid level, they've got to get to the location to unlock the payload to then walk it to the end. What I like to do is start off with Symmetra to hold the choke points and bang up a teleporter so my team can respawn, jump in the teleporter and get right back in the action. If they do take the location, they start moving the payload, I may switch to another defensive hero because I have no need for a teleporter anymore because the payload is on the move. And finally, I think I've already said this, hero switching. It's very important that you can switch anytime. If you feel like you're getting smashed one way, try another hero. But before you do, keep an eye on your ultimate counter because you will lose your whole ultimate charge if you switch. So if you're at 90% and then you switch to another hero, you've lost that 90%. You may as well just squeeze it out, get that ultimate done, and then move on. I got a little section about passive abilities here. Now, a passive ability is something that certain heroes can just do. Like, it's not really an ability, they can just do it. And here's a couple of them for you. Pharah, her hover is considered a passive. Hanzo's wall climb. Genji's wall climb. Mercy can heal herself after being out of combat for a few seconds. Torbjorn collecting scrap is considered a passive. And Reaper's collecting of souls. The interesting thing with this whole Reaper collecting souls thing is when you kill a guy's Reaper, you'll see like a little red orb and you can pick it up and it'll regenerate some of your health. What I don't know is if it stops Mercy's revive, like if Reaper collects the souls and then Mercy can't do a big ass revive, like that is another really cool like maneuver. If you've got a Reaper on your team collecting souls, Mercy comes out, tries to revive, you've eaten their souls. I mean, that, I don't know if it does that, so you'll have to leave a comment. That would be cool though. Character selection. So my buddy came on to Overwatch, first time coming on. He hadn't even heard of the game, he just came on for the open beta. And I said, oh, you should try this hero. The reaction I got from him was kind of like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool, and tried to learn the hero. I think it is far better to have that emotional response to the hero, because you liking the hero will make you want to do better, it'll make you want to learn the moves. So definitely go in, look at the heroes. Who do you like? There's a few little sneaky tips that I found on this game that I'm going to give you. That was sneaky tips. Tips. Like tips and tricks. Junkrat's mine that helps you kind of jump and get to places will still be there after you die. Winston is good at hitting bunched up enemies with his Tesla cannon-y thing. With Tracer, try not to overextend. Something that I kept doing was I'd get in near the fight and I wouldn't just chip enemies down and get them worried and they run off. I'd be like, I better chase them now and try and kill them. A lot of the time running into 6 dudes and just being owned. McCree's got some cool stuff. If you do your left trigger burst fire, then a quick roll, you can immediately burst fire again without reloading. When Roadhog chaining it, that's his chain that he uses to grapple enemies towards him, I found it cool to chain them, shoot them, then hit him, yeah? Alright. With characters like D.Va and Hanzo, there was no reload. So many of my friends saying, oh, there's a Genji there. A teammate just kept shooting him even though he was deflecting all the bullets into me. And you just want to look, especially with someone like D.Va, if you shoot, it's blue or like a bluey green when you're shooting it, and when Genji deflects it, it will change to the red, you know, that's an enemy bullet colour. So just be aware not to pag Genji when he's doing it. Just, you see him going, you'll see it, you know, all this green shit flying everywhere. Just stop shooting. Just do not shoot. Symmetra's secondary fire, which is kind of, she holds it down, you have to charge it for quite a while, and then a huge ball of energy will like fly very slowly through the air. This can go through Reinhardt's shield. I think it can even go through multiple enemies, so it's pretty badass. And with Mercy, you want to get someone up to full health, and then boom! Give them the damage enhancement, you know, give them that, and then when they start to lose a bit of health again, just get their health up and then switch it back. They can lose a little bit of health. It's more important to be switching it quickly. Torbjorn's turret and maintenance of the turret is vital, because sometimes I've been in a firefight and I've put down my turret and then left it and gone off to fight. My gun's not as powerful as my turret. Other times I've stuck with my turret, been taking fire, you know, they've been shooting my beard off, and I've been like, gotta fix his turret, and my turret has eventually killed them and I've survived. So sometimes it is actually more vital to take care of your turret. If you're a little character and you get hit by Widowmaker's Venom Mine, just get to a health pack, because that will chip away your health to just get to a health pack. So with your normal controller configuration, because I'm talking about like Xbox and PlayStation here, or if you, I don't know why you would, but if you use a controller on PC, the left trigger will do something for most characters, an alternate fire, but for some characters it does one of their abilities. Say for Tracer, you don't have to bump her, you can do the trigger for the blink. Pharah, instead of pressing A to do the boost thing when you're in the air, you can just press left trigger, leaving, you know, your finger able to aim and actually get those nice shots. And Hanzo cancels his shot, just in case you're like, oh, I'm going to fire this arrow off. You know what? No. Let me put it down, you know, so that's cool. Okay, now we got into the map section, and, oh, dude, you know, I'm going to try and say the names, but I don't know what I'm going to do. Maps. Assault. You have an attacking team and a defending team. There's 2 points, and you have to capture them both while the other team tries to stop you capturing them both. When you're at a control point or you're capturing a place, you'll see the circle and the little loading bar going around it, but there's 3 little nubs poking out there. And what happens is if your team gets it to one of those nubs, it will stay there. It can never go below that nub again. And just 3 of those, so you get it by first nub, then second nub, you know, you're really close to the end of that point. Even if they get a team kill on you and you've got no boys or girls there, you will still have it up to that nub if you got it just over that nub or to the nub. So, a lot of nub talk. So the assault maps are Hanimura, Temple of Anubis, and Volskaya Industries. Volskaya, yeah. Escort. These are the ones where you have a payload that you have to walk through the whole map while the other team stops you. And the maps are Dorado, Watchpoint Gibraltar, and Route 66. Hybrid levels. These are the levels where the attacking team has to go and capture a point, like in Assault, and then the payload being at that capture point is then escorted to the end of the map. So it's a little bit of Assault and a little bit of Escort. These levels are King's Row, Numbani, and Hollywood. And the final maps are control maps. This is both teams attacking. It's probably the closest thing you've got to team deathmatch. There's just 1 point central in the map that both teams have to try and capture and hold. The 3 maps in this are Nepal, that one, and Alios. Yep. This has been my tips and tricks for This has been my tips and tricks for Overwatch. I'd like to thank Dark Chaos for helping me with some of these tips and tricks, and I'll catch you